Hello everybody, welcome back to HardReset.Info channel. In today's video, I'll show you the first things to do after setup on your OPPO A6x. So first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over and make sure that we are connecting to the Wi-Fi first. This is the most important part. We're gonna go to settings, we need internet, we're gonna go to Wi-Fi now. And here we're gonna choose the network that we want. So I'll choose this one. Of course, we're gonna enter the password. So I'll see you guys in a second once I enter mine. Now it is connecting, and as you guys can see, we are connected to the network. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a Google account. So we're gonna go over to the Play Store and right here, click sign in. Now, if your Play Store crashes during logging in, it's normal. All you have to do is just redo the process. It's the fault of the Play Store and not the device, because it keeps on happening on pretty much every single Android device that I've had. So here we're gonna enter our email. Now, this is a little bit of a shortcut. If you enter your email and it ends at gmail.com, then you don't need to type that in. You just type in the name, it will automatically put at gmail.com right here. So this can save you some time here. Next thing, we need to enter the password. And if you have a two-factor authentication, then you will also have to do it. So I'll see you guys in a second once I enter it. Now, after entering the password, we will be seeing who will be using this device. So we want to set this up for ourselves or our children. You guys can choose it right here. Of course, I'll set it up for myself, so the steps here may vary, but not by a lot. Here we just click next and then agree to the terms of service made by Google. Let me quickly lower the brightness for you guys so it is a clear screen. Now we are waiting for Google services to load up. This is the part where the Google Play Store likes to crash, and it's the most random crash. You cannot predict it. As you guys can see, we have the option to back up our device, so we want to accept it and make sure that it's enabled. After we click accept, it will check the info, and now we should be in the Play Store already. We just click get started, then use the password to verify our purchases, and I'll see you guys in a second once I enter it. Now we are in the Play Store officially. We're gonna go and click on our profile picture. We're gonna go to my apps and games, and we're gonna wait until it stops checking for updates. So as you guys can see, here we have it. Now this is from a previous device, even though it's because of the Google account that we have added. And it's a lot of apps here, but we're gonna go to updates. This is what we want to install. So here we have 49 updates. We want to make sure that everything is updated right here. So once this is done, then we will be able to go over and update everything here. So just click on update all, and then everything will update. Next, what we're gonna do is go over and set up the screen lock. So this is the most important thing while setting a new phone. So after setup, we're gonna go over to security and privacy. Now here we're gonna dismiss this alert because we're gonna add a device unlock, and here we will go to the screen lock. Now choose the PIN, the password, or a pattern. It's totally up to you guys. I recommend using the PIN or a password because pattern is very easy to guess unless you use every single of the dots. So I'll go with the numeric password. Now, as you guys can see, if you forget your lock screen password, then you will have to reset the phone and its data. As you guys can see, we can enter 6 digits here or use a different password type, enter 4 to 16, alphanumeric, or of course the pattern. Here I'm gonna choose 6 digits, and my password will be 123456. As you guys can see, this password is too common and your phone will ask if you want to use it anyway. I will use it, but make sure that you don't, because it's very important that you create a strong password so nobody gets into your device. Next, the phone will ask for fingerprint unlock. We're going to click enable and click agree. Now we want to slide our finger across the, as you guys can see, the power button. So we are sliding it. We do it like this. And let me quickly take the phone like that and show to you how the process looks like. So we are swiping it. Now we need to cover the bottom and our fingerprint is added. So now we can click done and we can check it out. So I'll use a different finger here. Now use this one and it worked. So here we can leave the screen lock. Now, of course, go to fingerprint and face unlock. If you want to set up your face, you can do it right here by clicking face, then agree, and then enter the password that you have provided. Here, we're going to click add now, and we need to keep our face within this frame right here. So I'll quickly do that off camera. This process is around 5 to 10 seconds. Now the face has been added. Let's click done. And here we can use it for screen unlock, app lock, hide apps, data protection, and enter home screen after unlocking, or brighten screen in dim light. Here you can also require eyes to be open, so we want to make sure that we enable it. Now we can leave, and every single thing that we could have set up is set up now. We're going to go to theft protection now, and here in the theft protection, what we're going to do is we're going to go over and enable theft detection lock. So if someone takes your phone, then runs away with it while it's unlocked, the phone will lock immediately. You can of course unlock it while just entering the password if it's just you running away randomly. Here you guys can of course enable the offline device lock, and if your device goes offline, then it will lock instantly, or simply a SIM lock, so it will be locked and linked to the SIM if it's removed. Sorry, if the SIM card that was linked is removed. Now here everything is set up. Next thing we're gonna do, set up Google Pay. So we want our Google Wallet to be, and we first want to make sure that it's installed already. If not, we're gonna install it. Go to search here and type in Goo, and it will automatically go for Google Pay. Now, as you guys can see, we want to make sure that it's installed. If it is, just click open. If not, install it and then open it right here. It will automatically choose an account to use with the app. So this will add an account that we have added in the beginning. We're going to click view wallet right here, and then we want to allow Google Wallet to send us notifications. Here we have everything: loyalty programs, clubs, cashbacks, paybacks, and everything you can think of. Here, after clicking on the plus button, you'll have an option to add the payment card, transit pass, loyalty card, even a gift card, or everything else. So this is like a QR code or a barcode. Now, we're going to click payment card, and you can choose the card that is already saved in the wallet. Make sure that you need to have your card physically with you, so it has to be right next to you, otherwise you wouldn't get it. So you just won't connect your card with the wallet. Now we're gonna go for new credit or debit card. I don't have any card on me, so this will be a simply guessing number. Here we're gonna either scan the card, so it will open up this right here. Now we will be able to scan it with the frame, and it will automatically read the numbers, the security code, everything, or you can just enter the details manually. So for example, like this. And even though this is not a valid card number, we're gonna go and add the expiration date and of course the security code. So this is how it will look like. You just click save and continue, and after you do that, you will see your card right up top here. So you will see your card where I see the set up your MasterCard right now. So it will be at the top. You can see the expenses, you can see how much money you spent. And after setting up the Google Wallet, what you guys want to do is make sure that your phone lasts you a lot. So we're going to talk about the battery settings. Here we're going to go over to settings and go from the device unlock, we're gonna go to the main page again, and here select the battery. Now we're gonna go over and talk about the battery modes. So super power saving mode, basically it will restrict the system performance and it will allow up only to 6 apps, so like phone, messages, or any app of your choice. Now power saving mode is the normal power saving that we use. It will reduce the system performance, your phone can lag a little, and it will turn off a lot of features to make sure that your battery is extended. Now for the balance mode, this is the normal mode that everybody is using, and high performance mode, basically it will try and get 100% off out of this system performance, but of course your phone can heat up and it will decrease your battery life. So we want to stick to balanced or power saving mode when our battery is lower than, let's say, 25. Now let's talk about battery health. Here we have the maximum capacity, so 100% is basically what we get from the store. Now over time our battery life decreases and it's worse. It won't be 100% in, let's say, a year. It will be, let's say, 90, 95, depends on the usage of the phone. And if there's, let's say, 80%, then it means that there will be less usage time between the charges, so you'll have to charge up your phone a little bit more. It's normal. Now here we want to enable smart charging. This will slow down battery aging and it will expand our battery life. It will learn from our patterns whenever we charge it, whenever we unplug it, and it will reach 80%, and it may start charging to 100% only when it knows that it's safe. Now you guys can also enable custom charging limit, but this will disable smart charging. Here you can put your battery to 80%. This is very short and this will slow down battery aging and expand your battery life, but I always go with the smart charging no matter what. And here resume charging at 95%, so charging automatically stops when the battery is fully charged and resumes when your battery level drops below 95. Of course, keep it enabled. And now from the battery health, we're going to go to the power saving settings. Here we want to set it up for maximum performance. As you guys can see, we want to automatically exit the power saving mode and automatically enter it. We just tap here and select 20 or 25%. Now when your battery reaches 25%, you will automatically enter the normal power saving mode. It's not the ultra one. And here we want to make sure that the sleep standby optimization is enabled, because whenever you're asleep, the device uses less power. Now video battery saver, you guys can enable it, but this will make your videos lagging or audio quality worse. So it's totally up to you. If you're a Netflix guy or girl, then definitely turn this off. But if you do not mind worse audio, it's not that bad. But still, if you want the audio and the video in the highest quality possible, make sure to disable it. Now for app battery management, this is every single app and how it uses your battery. So we're gonna click Netflix. Here we can allow background activity, but this will basically raise our battery usage and we don't want it. We want to restrict background activity, so now the app cannot work in the background. We can do that with every single app, and make sure to choose the normal apps. If you're using some Android apps, then it will be bad. So as you guys can see, mobile device information provider, you guys want to keep it at smart mode because it won't use anything, only from time to time. And as you guys can see, this is how you guys can set the power saving settings. Now here we have the battery usage from the last, let's say, 24 hours or 7 days. Now we got no data because we just set up this phone, but here we can see the battery usage by app. We can see the app right here and we can force stop it for an example because the power consumption ratio here is very big. So this is the entire battery settings and the tips to make your battery last longer. Now as a last thing, what you guys want to do is make sure that you customize your phone. This is the most fun part. You can, let's say, delete the widgets. You can go here and add a new one, or you can add, let's say, even block blast. So this is how you guys can do that. You guys can get rid of any apps if you click remove, then this will disappear only from the home screen, but it will be in the app drawer right here. So here you guys can make your phone look much more aesthetic than usual. And we can drag this folder, let's say, to this side, and now we can move our widget. Of course, we can even change the wallpapers and everything. So here you guys can set it up. We got the colorways or anything else. We can use this one right here. We can apply it to lock screen, home screen, or both. So I'll apply it to both. Now this is how it looks like. Of course, I'll apply. And now it's applying, as you guys can see. Whenever we go back, we got the wallpaper, and this is how you guys can customize your phone. These are the first things to do, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. If it was, then leave a like, subscription, and a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.